What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, keeping you up to date on all the latest wrestling news, rumors, and reports. And there's a lot to talk about following this week's AEW Dynamite, as former WWE superstar Aleister Black just showed up there out of nowhere. The reason why he was able to do that. More highlights coming out of AEW Dynamite, even AEW mocking WWE big time. It looks like WWE got a very tough decision to make in regards to Jimmy Uso, so we got the latest update in that and more. Before we get into it though, you guys know, make sure to have those notifications turned on to continue being up to date on all the latest wrestling reports, all of our WWE 2K22 news coverage, and more. And of course, let's start off with the shocking report of former WWE superstar Aleister Black making his debut on AEW Dynamite this week under his new name Malakai Black, and it looks like there's a specific reason up to how he was able to show up on AEW after just being on WWE SmackDown a month ago. His debut went down during an Arn Anderson interview with Tony Schiavone in the ring. Arn Anderson wasn't able to say much because the lights went out for about 30 seconds. Then when the lights were turned back on, Black was in the ring and he hit Arn Anderson with the black mask. Cody Rhodes ran out to the ring and Black hit him with the black mass as well. Black's name has been rumored for AEW for weeks now, ever since his release, so this was certainly a massive surprise. And all of this was definitely done at a very specific time, because earlier on in the day, Aleister Black ended up posting a video titled "The Devil Made Me Do It," and this video gave us the vibe of what Jon Moxley gave us after his release, where you can see him breaking loose of this asylum that he is in. In this video that he released, he even referenced the fact that his eye injury is the result of an attack by Matthew, which is definitely referencing Murphy. He sort of teased that that fight is not over yet, so I wonder if Murphy's headed to AEW as well. This was of course a bit of a continuation of his dark character from WWE that he was just starting over there. This evil character continued to flashes on him, and then at the end he's finally broken loose of those handcuffs, which is kind of obvious what he's referring to. Now he's gonna have that creative freedom. In this video, it's then revealed that his name is not Tommy End, it is Malakai Black. And as you guys can see, when he showed up on AEW Dynamite, he's carrying over a lot of that WWE character traits with the suit and everything, and even carry over those injuries too. As you can see, his eye is obviously messed up. There's a dark shade to it, sort of like if it's still healing up. And I just love that Black continues everything, telling his own story no matter where he goes. Now he's gonna be in a big feud with Cody Rhodes, one of the top stars on AEW. Up to how this was possible, as reported by PW Insider, all of this was simply a big mistake from WWE. But basically what happened was this: when Aleister Black was moved from NXT to the main roster a few years ago, WWE forgot to update the standard 30-day non-compete to 90 days that is given to all main roster members. This mistake basically allowed him to be free from his non-compete 30 days after his release, and is how he was able to jump to AEW this quick. This also brings up the question if there were other superstars that were released that also only have 30 days, because a lot of those recent releases that we got do come from superstars that were on NXT and were called up to the main roster. But that wasn't all the highlights coming out of AEW Dynamite this week, because of course they are back on the Raw, so things were said to be big, just like WWE is probably going to be doing the same thing with SmackDown and Raw once they go back to full arena in just a week and a half. Nonetheless, hopefully there's no fans rushing into the ring like we got on AEW Dynamite. On this week's episode, a fan tried to jump in the ring during the MJF and Chris Jericho segment. The fan tried to rush in and attacked MJF, but Chris Jericho was closer, so he kind of went for Chris Jericho too. Security was holding him up. Chris Jericho didn't back down. He took a right hand and delivered it to him. He probably didn't hit him with all of it, but point is, don't be a stupid idiot jumping into the ring like that, especially when somebody like Chris Jericho is in there who literally knows how to handle this type of stuff because of how many years he has in the business. It's worth mentioning that this appears to be legitimate because the camera did pan away and it did look awkward. And other than this incident, the crowd in Miami was absolutely awesome. The reactions that a lot of superstars like Hangman Adam Page got was incredible, demonstrating how much over some of these talents are. Now, some might say it's not AEW unless they are taking a nice shot at WWE. I mean, AEW mocking WWE should have a weekly edition on this roundup. This week, it was a Brie Baker dropping a heated promo and dropping WWE. She cut a promo indicating how she was not happy with last week's tag team match against Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. Not only was she put through a table by her upcoming challenger, but Rebel ended up getting injured with a dislocated kneecap. Baker pointed out to AEW president Tony Khan that the only reason the match took place was because Vicky Guerrero was owed a favor after bringing in Andrade El Idolo, who by the way made his in-ring debut against Matt Sydal this week. Awesome matchup right there. Brie Baker continued and told Tony Khan to enjoy his quote-unquote blood money, and she then went on to make a direct reference to WWE working in Saudi Arabia, where it's no secret WWE has been paid very well for running shows there. She stated the following: maybe next week AEW Dynamite can run in Saudi Arabia. Again, all of which in response to what happened last week and the fact that Brie Baker feels underappreciated by Tony Khan. Not really a surprise, but this got a massive pop from the AEW audience. And honestly, Brie Baker delivers such a good promo that I'm not gonna even complain about. And on to some other news. We're talking the latest in regards to Jimmy Uso, who was arrested earlier on this week. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer Radio ended up indicating that a decision on what to do with him is expected very soon, now that we are closer to SmackDown. This is of course adding to what we discussed before from WrestleVotes, indicating that two high-level people in power in WWE were said to be extremely disappointed at his latest arrest. Now it seems like he could be on the verge of getting fired. WrestlingNews.co indicated that they heard that there was talk of releasing him after his previous DUI arrest, but the company opted to keep him and give him another chance. Now this is that other chance. But they did add the following: it is unclear if people in management have that same mindset this time around. It is clear that something needs to change with Jimmy Uso to prevent something like this from happening again, as he could have injured himself or innocent people. The other big reason up to why WWE gotta think this one a bit more is because of Roman Reigns. Jimmy is currently involved in a storyline with him, and a big one that is. Roman Reigns' character is all about providing for his cousin and his family, and it's all about him being the tribal chief and being the top one, as the Usos are next to him or just under him. If Jimmy gets suspended or released, this obviously going to put a big dent in the long-term plans of the Uso and this Roman Reigns storyline. So WWE right now is scrambling a lot with this situation. One thing that I could see happening is them kind of brushing it under the rug, giving Jey Uso the help that he needs, but also keeping him around and in the storyline to not change plans a lot, kind of giving him another big chance. I'll certainly keep you guys updated on it, but that is the recent updates. If you guys enjoy and want more wrestling news coverage, make sure to subscribe and hit those notifications. I'll catch you on the next one, so stay savage.